Hello and welcome to Front Row Racing World Championship. This is round 16 USA, and this evening with me in the commentary box we do have James Hulkenberg. Well, I am Front Row Racing GP, also known as Stevie Sherbets, and James Hulkenberg is also known as James Huntenberger. So how are you this evening?
How you doing?
Not too bad.
Murray?
Not too Murray, yeah. I'm not doing too bad.
It's going to be a good night. It's going to be a good night. It's going to be a good bit of racing.
Yeah, and it's all starting off all a bit quick because we are almost at that time where we need to be getting going. So we are going to rattle through a couple of things a bit quick. We also do have Ray with us down in the pit lane. We'll come to Ray in a moment, but before we do, just quickly run through the teams that we've got with us. So in the Flaming Dragons Mercedes, we've got Temp Fear and Dan Evs. In the Red Bulls, we have Bartman and Hammer Time. And that is obviously the Rising Lads Red Bulls. Then we've got the Sensen Racing Williams of Killer Corkin and Jason. Killer Corkin has said he may be running a bit late, just like we are. And then in the Ferraris, the up the line Ferrari, we've got Overdyking and Jamie James. They are both in their vehicles. Then we've got Team Freedom, McLaren Honda of GT5 King and Konzo. Then nobody in the Force India, we're in the Toros, so the commentary team. Nobody in the Lotuses, but we in the Sauber, which is the Landmark Racing Sauber, is Duo Finn. His teammate Mornay is supposed to be here. We've not heard any comment from Mornay, so we'll see if he joins at some point. And then we've got Mode Red Mana Marusha of Front Row Racing DP, and then the reserve driver of RMS Maranello 55 taking over from Kev 187, who again this week is unavailable. So let's get this race going. Let's hit some ready buttons and we shall soon get going. Just having a little look down that driver list there to see if Mornay was in the lobby, but not in his car. No. Doesn't look like it. So we've got 15 in the lobby, which means we are missing one. So Killer Corkin did manage to get in. He did seem maybe late, but he is there. So the only driver we're missing then is Mornay at the moment, and we've had no comment from him. So over to Ray down in the pit lane. I just want to get some bits and pieces out of the way. I know I've not done last week's results yet. We'll come to that in a moment. But Ray down in the pit lane, how are you this evening?
I'm very well.
Good.
Both of yous.
Are we what? Sorry.
How's the both of yous?
Oh, I'm fine. Always am.
Yeah, it's always good when Ray's down in pit lane.
Yeah. Well, Ray, I've heard you've been.
Oh no! Don't be like that,
Ray. Ray, anything from the race directors this week?
Yeah, I got a message. If I can get to it, I'll stop messing about now. Technology message about qualifying bands for Mornay. It's Hammer Time 44, GT5 King 786. All cause 3 separate incidents at the start of last week's race.
Ooh, well there we go, that was last week's race. I will, once qualifying is underway, go through the results very quickly on that. So it is time to head over to the circuit. This week we are at Circuit of the Americas in America, Texas. Houston, we have a problem.
I hope not. Especially where these party lobbies have been going. I hope they ain't got a problem.
That is the sort of weather you want, isn't it? If you're a driver.
Oh yes, definitely.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what it says for the. Oh, it says showers on mine. For the weather, yeah. Clear and dry, but with a possible showers later. Does it say anything on the?
It just says that it's going to be clouding over in 20 minutes on mine.
Yeah.
And, qualifying will be done by then, so it's going to get cooler temperatures by the end of this session, which may improve the grip by the end of the session, so the fastest times we might find in the last few minutes of the session.
That's very true. Now we'll come to have a look at some cars on circuit once they head out, but we'll run through Russia's results. So the race results from Russia was Front Row Racing DP taking the win with the 25 points, second place Temp Fear, third Jamie James, fourth GT5 King, 5th Konzo, 6th Bartman, 7th Dan Evs, 8th was It's Hammer Time 44, 9th Over Dyking, 10th was Jason. He was the last finisher. Yep, so that was the race results for Russia. Driver of the day, Fun Racing DP, well deserved, dominant performance, taking the pole and the win. So, team of the day went to Flaming Dragons Mercedes of Temp Fear and Dan Evs. They did rather well. So over to the Drivers' Championship, and this is how it stands currently. Temp Fear from Flaming Dragons Mercedes, 234 points, with Front Row Racing DP with 206. So that gap is coming down, but not as quickly as DP would want. It's 25 points gap. And if you think about it, James, DP lost 25 points for having his footage corrupt for Monaco.
Yeah,
and that's that 25 points. Yeah,
and yeah, he'll be absolutely kicking himself about that. But unfortunately, that's the way it goes. Sometimes it's tough, this Formula One. But as we know, anything can change. Anything. Temp Fear might have the worst race of his life in these last few events. He might have a few cracking drives, but one DNF and the title's back on.
It is, because you know, if Temp Fear is not going to finish a race, there's a good chance DP is going to be winning the race. We're just looking further on this Driver Championship. Kev's in 3rd with 200 points, but we don't know whether we're going to see him again this season or not. So that's something to keep an eye on. But he's still got 200 points. Then it drops down to 167 points for Jamie James and 162 points for Over Dyking, and I think that is just too much for the Ferrari team to expect to try and overhaul Temp Fear's points there. So it's mathematically it's possible, but you've got to think Temp Fear is going to be scoring points, so it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, we did hear. I did hear from Over Dyking message me personally to say he feels as though he's out of this championship now due to the pit lane shenanigans in Russia. So he's told me he's got nothing to lose now, so we could see fireworks from Over Dyking.
Well, it could go two ways. We could see fireworks from Over Dyking, or we could see him getting some practice in for next season on his wheel. So it could be one of, I mean, like I say, he's got nothing to lose, so he can either go all out for the win, or think, do you know what, get the extra practice in for the wheel. But he has, though, just thinking though, he's still got to consider the Constructors' Championships, because in Front Row Racing, the Constructors' finishing order gives you first pick for the cars for the following season. So at the moment, Mode Red Mana Marussia with 406 points, pretty much not quite mathematically secured it yet, but pretty much going to win the Constructors, so they're going to get first pick of car. Then you've got up the line Scuderia Ferrari 329 with Flaming Dragons Mercedes on 274. Now when you think about it, Temp Fear is in the Mercedes, so there's a good chance he could score quite a few points and may catch up them Ferraris, so they might want that second place, and that's what they've got to consider.
Yeah, it's tough, but unfortunately it's just like the development season for the real Formula 1 teams. They start work on their next year's car at summertime. The later you leave it, you may be able to pick your car for the next season, but if you're wanting to then learn to drive on a wheel, it may take longer than that. So it's whether you it's which side of the coin do you see is most valuable? Is it the livery or is it your performance?
Exactly, but I've just noticed that RMS Maranello has just crossed the line to finish a lap. It did a 1:37. Let's have a quick look at what it was at 1:37.3. We are expecting lap times in the 36s, maybe even touching the 35s if it is possible to get their lap in clean. Temp Fear's just done a 38.8.
That is on prime tyres. It's quite possible, with that being such a large time off, if he's thinking about saving tyres at all, Temp Fear, but it's a risky strategy, especially in Sector 1.
Well, he might actually be considering to start on the primes and do something a little bit different, but we didn't have any pre-race comments from Temp Fear, so we're going to move on while he's on his primes to another driver who's on the circuit, Bartman. I think Ray managed to catch up with Bartman before the race for his pre-race comments. He's currently sitting in 3rd place, but he might be doing another lap at the moment. So Ray, did you get any pre-race comments from Bartman?
Yeah, he just said there'll be a lot of corner cuts by everyone.
Well, if anyone knows about corner cuts, I'm pretty sure it'll be Bartman. So I'll tell you what, we won't watch him because otherwise we're just going to sit here and curse him. And oh, hang on a minute, his lap time's already frozen. Okay, he's already invalidated his lap, so we'll leave him there. We'll move on. Who else do we have on the circuit? Front Row Racing DP. Ray, why are you with us? Front Row Racing DP, did he have much to say this week?
Front Row Racing DP, let me go through my list. Not that I can see. Unless you never sent. You never sent them to me.
Okay, well I'll read his out then. It says...
Oh yeah, see ya.
Oh, go on then. There you go, I'll let you read it.
Yes, he needs it to be dry to have a chance of the win. Tyres temp could dictate the strategy and where. Looking at the points difference from me to temp, it just brings up the memories of the Monaco loss win.
Well, there you go. Yeah. I mean, Ray, you said there about that loss. He lost the win in Monaco. I mean, it was a well-deserved win, and it is that 25 points difference. Do you think that's going to come back to haunt DP this season?
That could very well. What's the difference?
25 points. 25 points is the difference.
Is it?
Yeah. Unfortunately for DP, he will be kicking himself from Monaco, but I seem to be casting my mind back to watching a video with Senna, and he always used to say, no matter how many times he has bad races, you got to try and just think about them extra points on offer, and know that other drivers will probably not have a smooth run, and just try and focus on getting maximum points at all races. And if his consistency starts going now from the performance at Russia, DP is in the zone.
Yeah, I have noticed his time has frozen, so he is on an invalid lap. He might be setting himself up for another one. He is currently sat in 13th place. He has got enough fuel on board for another lap. So good luck to DP on his next lap. We're going to see who else we've got. Go on, what was you going to say?
Do we happen to know if Maranello has been given any team orders from the Marussia team?
I don't know. That'd be an interesting question. I think, was it after the race? I think DP may have said last week that if they were close together, then they might risk a switch of positions, and that's about it. So, because Maranello understands that DP is in the hunt for the championship, so yeah, only if they're close together would they switch the positions on the last lap. Apart from that, go and get the points, because what DP needs is for Maranello to take points off 10th Fear.
Yeah, but what we don't need is a bunch of angry Americans coming after us.
That's very true, but they will anyway. Anyway, who else we got on circuit? Joey Finn, he's also on the prime tyres. He's done a sector 1 of a 26.9. I'm just going to have a quick look at the table. We've only got 4 laps that have been set. One by Maranello, 10th Fear, and then James and Bartman. Who have we got on circuit that's possibly could set a time here? Dan Evs is on circuit.
So many people not set times. There's only 4 drivers set times, and we're only 8 minutes to go.
Well, I'm just wondering whether there's some drivers there that are thinking, I'm not going to set a time because I want to start with fresh tyres. If there's 3 drivers that have got qualifying bans, they might go out and not set a time. They might go out and do a couple of sectors and come back in.
But that's it. If they went out and did a couple of sectors, that would jump them up at least 5 grid spots.
Yeah, exactly.
It's worth just doing a few sectors.
It is. Now, we've got Dan Evs on screen, and we don't have any pre-race comments from Dan Evs, so we'll just see how he gets on with his lap. But his lap's been invalidated. What are these guys playing at today? His lap was invalidated at 21 seconds, so according to 21 seconds, that's... I was just thinking of a song then, but anyway, 21 seconds.
How many points is Dan Evs on for the championship so far?
Not very many. He's on 40.
I'm just wondering what the difference is between him and his teammate.
Right, well, his teammate is 10th Fear, who's on a 234.
almost 200 points more. That is epic.
It is.
That is absolutely epic. I wonder if his team manager going to be having a word at the end of the season.
Well, he's just boxed on this lap, so he's not actually set a time yet. So, but maybe that was his plan, just to go out and back in again. We don't know. It might well have been. We've got Jason out on circuit. He's set a sector 1 of a 26.6. We'll go down to Ray in the pit lane for Jason's pre-race comments. So Ray, what have you got from Jason this week?
Jason, yes. I feel hopeful, has managed some practice, so I hope for points position at the end and to keep the front line all the way to the end as a goal this time.
Well, that's Jason from Senson Racing Williams. What about Killer Corkin from Senson Racing Williams? What did his teammate have to say?
He feels like he's having some pace here, so he's either shoved a Mars bar up his bum and got a Rottweiler to chasing him.
Well, if there's a circuit where you're feeling confident and you're going to do well, then you've got to get out there and prove it, really. I mean, you've got to get out there and do it. Do you know what I've just realised? With 6 minutes to go of this session, I've not got to question of the day yet, and I've noticed that there's been some YouTube comments already, so we'll have Ray look at those, and if they're relevant, then Ray can ask us.
Just asking what engineers are on.
Okay.
And I've got 2 other drivers' live streams up on my multi-display, so I can watch from different angles.
Yeah, we've got Jason in 5th position at the moment. We now have 8 drivers setting lap times. So DP's in 2nd with a 38.0. We are aware that DP is carrying an injury this evening. He does have a right shoulder injury, so he's finding it difficult to steer left.
That's not what you need, as Mark Webber found that out in 2010. He broke his shoulder going into the final few races and didn't tell anybody.
Yeah, well, I think really it's the sort of thing you need to be open and honest about, and sometimes you need to get the doctors to have a look at it. I just went on board with James. He has set his first sector of a 25.9, but his lap time is invalidated. So easy to invalidate the lap times here in that first sector. Now his teammate, is his teammate out on circuit as well? So we've not seen Over Dyking.
He's still watching.
I wonder if he's going to consider starting with fresh tyres and going for it. Now, do we know if Mornay's been able to... So I was just going to say, do we know if Mornay's managed to join us yet?
I haven't seen anything on screen. I will have a look. No, nothing's in the notifications, nothing's come up.
Well, Ray, at some point between now and the start of the race, if you wanted to join, because Mornay doesn't seem to be appearing, because normally by this point qualifying would have finished. Yeah, anyway, Jamie James just coming around to finish his lap. It's already invalidated, so he'll be looking, it was a 1:41.5. He's looking to set another lap time, going back to the best times and seeing who we've got out on circuit. We've got Jamie James out on circuit and Duo Finn out on circuit, who's on an out lap. So, sorry?
Would it be a good idea to jump in? I saw it. Will it not be sinking then?
Well, you can always wait until after the race start and jump in, and then it will only let you spectate and only let you do that and that only anyway, so you can always wait until race start. That would probably be the safer option. Well, the thing is, if a driver was to jump in this late and race, then what would be the difference to you doing it now and taking up the space? But I mean,
I'd do it now, Ray. There's 3 minutes to go. Get yourself in here.
Alright, anyway, so Jamie James on circuit. He's done his sector 1 of a 25.8. He's not invalidated his time at the moment. Sector 2 of a 40.1. So they're not too bad. Not too bad sectors there from him. But this next right-hander coming up is going to be one that's going to show us whether he's got low downforce or high downforce. So mid-corner ease off, so it might be running low wing there with an early shift up as well.
Last year I did run ridiculously high wing, and it was absolutely brilliant in sector 1 and sector 3, but the long back straight, I was a sitting duck, but I did find myself having literally exactly the same lap times as overdiking, but you can go very different on setup and end up with a very similar lap time.
James has just gone in 4th place with that, so we've got 2 minutes remaining now. So who do we have on circuit?
King should be on track.
Okay, he's just leaving circuit. He's just leaving the pits now, so he will be one to come to have a look at. Do we have DP anywhere near starting a lap? He's just started. Talk us through it then, James.
Turn 1, turn 2, just coming into this middle first sector now, and this is a killer if you get it wrong. If you get it wrong through here, you can say goodbye to your lap. Turning it in, just managing to hit that apex. Jamie James has retired. That's the best he can do. Coming up over the brow of the hill, rear end always wants to go light on you at that point as you're wanting to get hard on the power as you're heading downhill. Braking at the 100-metre board, getting it turned in, hitting that apex, running it wide now on the power, not wanting to get on the AstroTurf because that is just giving time away. Now heading down the long back straight, and over to you.
I was going to say, we've got 1 corner to go before the sector, and we're looking for a 39.5-ish for a sector 2, which is just after this corner.
She's got a touch wide through, and this is probably my favourite bit of the circuit. Rear end always wants to go light, but if you set your car up, this can be an absolute dream through here.
He's got a car ahead of him.
People out of position. Yeah, he needs to get out of the way, staying off the racing line. That's good to see.
I wouldn't say it's flat,
he's down. He's downshifting through that area, so he's not running a lot of wing. Last year I run pretty high wing and was able to go full throttle through there. Just gingerly getting on the power now. What is the time going to be? It's still P2. It's a 38.1.
Yeah, he will be disappointed with that, because in practice sessions for most this week he has been setting much quicker times, but like I say, he is carrying that injury. So whereabouts is overdiking on circuit?
He hasn't set a lap, but he's got over the line just to start his lap, so we can get on board and see how he's doing. Just heading down. This is.
He timed that really well. 7 seconds to go.
He has timed it really well, and he's hitting them apexes spot on so far.
Well, he's got this lap and this lap only to do it, and he could set a pole time, but if he doesn't set a time at all, he'll be starting in at least 11th.
He's given completely up.
It's been invalidated then. It must have been invalidated.
He must have gone over a white line, and that's it.
Well,
game over. No
that's
lap
not
time
good.
Set for overdiking.
Well, on board then with
10th.
Turn 7, dear me. So, Temp Fear finishing his lap off, and I will get to question of the day, and I'm going to do it now before he gets to the end of his lap. Are you ready for this, guys? Very quickly. How many top 3 finishers in 34 races did Dick Dastardly and Muttley achieve in wacky races?
Oh, that was before I was born.
None. That was good.
I'm not gonna give any clues or any answers until after the race. But Temp Fear is
grandpa's favourite cartoon.
He's got 1 corner to go. Temp Fear is currently sat in 4th place.
It won't be pushing as hard as easy if he didn't feel it was a good lap.
He's gone second, I believe.
P2. Brilliant.
Yeah.
That would, yeah. Jumped him in front of DP.
DP's, yeah.
Moved down to 3rd, yeah.
Just about to say that DP's down to 3rd place. I'm just wondering whether there are any more cars out on circuit. Nope. DP, I believe, was the last one. So that's qualifying over and done with. So anyone that's
title rival, just absolutely annoyed. DP's got to get an absolute flyer off the line and use his teammate to try and shuffle Temp Fear out of the way into turn 1.
Well, there's many different things that his teammate could do here, because his teammate could quite easily concentrate on running away at the start and stopping Temp Fear from having the victory.
How close that is off Paul.
Wow, that is exceedingly tight. Now, we were expecting quicker times, but it might just be that the fact that the circuit has just not got the times in it. Circuit was very hot.
I know we've had penalties going galore at this circuit, but 7 drivers setting lap times. I mean, the fans will be demanding the money back.
Yeah. I mean the Americans do like seeing cars going round and round. and around and around and around and around. So back to question of the day. If there's anybody that's watching and you want to answer that question, feel free. I'll just repeat it one more time before I come to it again at the end, and I can't find the question. How many top 3 finishes? How many top 3 finishes in 34 races did Dick Dastardly and Muttley achieve in Wacky Races? So over to the Circuit of the Americas, and it's nice and clear. So those on the lower.
Circuit of the Americas.
Circuit of the Americas. Yeah.
Oh, it's looking a glorious day out there.
You're where? Sorry.
I'm here. Oh no, I'm spectating, aren't I? I'm spectating.
Sorry.
I can see
what are you on about? Dear me. 8th is Bartman. Ray.
That's interesting.
It's a good job we always carry your P45 around with us, isn't it?
Yeah. You don't sent that in the post yet?
We've always got it ready. I tell you what, we've only got 20 seconds to go before this race starts. Looking at race strategy, it looks like it could be a 3-stopper. I don't know if Ray Dan is...
Mine's saying 4 stops on mine. It's saying pit on lap 5.
Wow. Yeah. That is short for saying you've not even done a qualifying lap on those tyres. So we could be seeing some guys pitting as early as lap 4. So we've got 5 lights on, 5 lights are out, the race is going, they're all heading into that turn 1. And how tight is it going to be around that first apex? I think Tempfy has got it already. DP's in second place.
Loads of cars off. Hammer Time, Sauber, Killer Corkin. Who else is down there? Loads of cars going right when it's a left-hander. I think they forgot which circuit they're driving on round here.
Oh dear me, that's not good at all.
That was a Williams and something else getting together.
So we've got 8 cars that have got away with it, and they are... Leading away with this race is Tempfy. He's got a cracking start. DP's just had the move ordered from Paddy Lowe saying get DP in P2, but Maranello's fighting back. Jamie James has got into 4th place. We've got Maranello trying to make a move back on DP.
Why not? I mean, this might be a sort of situation where DP's not fit enough for the race battle, and he might be better off letting his teammate go, prevent Tempfy from scoring as many points as possible. If at this point in the race your teammate's got a quicker car, let him go for it.
I would. Is he doing a Nigel Mansell? Is he saying, go get him, go and annoy him, and then when he's absolutely tired and knackered, I'll pick him off?
Quite possibly, because I mean, one of the things we've already mentioned here is the tyre wear and how many pit stops these guys might be doing.
Oh, Dan Evans just hit the back of Bartman in P6. Just slammed straight in the back of Bartman. Now he's up the inside of Bartman. Bartman's turning in. Is Dan Evans going to give him any space? Just enough. That was close, and Overdyking sniffing around in 7th place. If anything goes on here, I'm sure Overdyking will be through. Bartman braking late. Dan Evans on the inside line. Just braking enough. Lots of carbon fibre down there, and Konzo, he's having a run at Overdykink.
It's a risky place to try and overtake though there in that turn 2, but he was looking for it. He wasn't going to shy away. There's a lot of guys on prime tyres, and I'm wondering if Ray could have a little look through, find out who's on options, who's on primes, and then come back to us.
Oh, Dan Evans once again sniffing around at the back of Bartman. So dangerous in them fast swoopy corners. You've got to make sure that the car in front has clearly made a mistake before you start sniffing around there.
He's looking rather racy.
Really
I mean, Bartman here is on the primer tyres. Bartman's... Oh, I've just seen somebody spin.
Off. Konzo, is it?
No, GT5 King.
Oh no.
I think he's kept his wing.
No, I don't think so. Has he?
I believe so.
I think he's got some damage.
He might well have. He might well have. Well, Jamie James is in 4th place at the moment, quite close behind DP, and it looks like those 4 are making a bit of a break for it.
DP's really struggling, running wide there. If anything, he knows Maranello was as quick as Temp in qualifying. He needs to put a lot of faith in Maranello. If he can't hunt Temp down, he's going to have to do it himself. But he's struggling with rear end traction, his DP.
Well, one of the problems that I mean, it does look like it's rear end traction, but he has said that when he tries to turn for an left apex, that's when it hurts his arm, his elbow, his shoulder, and he's missing apexes, and that's something that we might see around a couple of these corners. So, Ray, who do you know yet who's on what tyres?
On the primes we have Batman, Overdye King, and Dual Fin.
Okay, so everyone else then will be on the options. Yeah.
Yes.
And did we get any guys pitting on that first lap with the damage?
I never seen.
Sorry guys, but in Maranello has just done an epic sector 1, and he's closed in on the back of Temp Fear. If he's going to make a move, I'm pretty sure DP saying make it now.
He's going to be very close at the end of this straight. DRS is available this lap, but Temp Fear's had good traction out of that corner. He's gone defensive. He's doing a Rich Davey.
Getting that slipstream. Yeah, he needs to get in that slipstream, Maranello, otherwise you will not feel the effects of DRS.
I feel Dual Fin, Jason, and it's Hammer Time and Killer Corkin.
Oh, Dan Ebb's right! Oh, sorry to butt in there, Ray. Dan Ebb's almost took it right into the back of Bartman and under braking. He's clearly getting frustrated on them option tyres, under a lot of pressure in that Mercedes-Benz, knowing that the quality of his teammate is showing him up. He needs to prove that he's got the race pace now. Show everybody what he's made of.
Back to Ray to finish off on those drivers that were pitting on that lap 1.
I think Killer Corkin, It's Hammer Time, and Yasin and Joel Finn were the ones that pitted, because they're about 20 seconds behind. Well,
thank you.
I don't think Joel Finn did, maybe Yasin and upwards.
I was just about to say, Dan Evs has made the move, but Bartman just come back at him and retook it on the exit of turn 1. But thank you, Ray, for that information. Much appreciated.
Oh, he's lost it! He's in the wall! He's lost his front wing of Dan Evs! Oh, that is a disaster, running so close to the back of Bartman there. That was always going to happen.
That's ruined his strategy.
Points straight down the drain for Dan Evs.
I've just clicked back at the front, and I tell you what,
James,
it's very tight.
Jamie James is looking the pick for me. He's keeping pace with him, and he's looking comfortable.
Is that a move?
Make a move on DP? Yeah, I think it is. No, he's just testing DP, seeing where his weak spots are, seeing if he's going to go defending fresh air. But we know DP ain't going to be doing that.
No, I think he is definitely giving DP something to think about, and this just goes to show that Jamie James is not just a bit part player in this league. He has won a few races, and a couple of races ago we were talking about how many different race winners we had, and I know that you had the information with you last week, James, and we didn't get around to using it, but I've got it with me again this week, so I'll quickly go through this. Front Racing DP now has won 4 races, with Kev winning 3, Temp Fear winning 3, Jamie James winning 2, Overdye King winning 1, Stocky winning 1, and It's Hammer Time 44 winning 1. 7 different winners.
Yeah, so I think Jamie James is going to make a move pretty soon. He's looking a bit impatient there. He's actually braking a lot earlier than DP, trying to get a better run into Sector 1 here. And to be running this close in dirty air clearly shows he's got a fair chunk of downforce. But then in front of them we've got Maranello, and he's also climbing all over the back of Temp Fear. He's got a good run. I think Maranello's going to make the move now. He's running so close. Can he get him out of position? I think he's going to brake late. No, he's thinking about the long game. He's thinking, get him easy, get him on DRS. And
just thinking about strategies here, we've got 2 Marushas, Mode Red Man and Marushas, in very close proximity of each other, and only one of them can take that prime opportunity for a pit stop.
And this is it. Here goes Maranello on Temp Fear. Temp Fear's taking it all the way around the outside. Maranello absolutely brilliant, giving him enough space there. This is fantastic wheel-to-wheel driving between these 2 front runners.
I'll tell you what,
just having a wiggle on exit.
Last week we saw Maranello's racecraft, and we're seeing it again this week. This is a guy that can race.
Yeah, he knows how to race. He's absolutely showing showing a lot of the regular drivers how it's done.
I mean, it's no coincidence that there's certain drivers that have incidents.
He's completely screwed up that pit lane entry. That could be a penalty heading his way, though.
It could quite well be, but one thing we have noticed is it doesn't always represent what he sees from inside his car.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be a little bit out, but that's what his footage is for.
Jamie James is still up with Maranello, so Jamie James is covering off what Maranello and the Manos are going to do.
I think what it is.
Meanwhile, Bartman and Overdyking there look to be getting cosy in P3 and P4.
I was just thinking, you know, Maranello's gone for the undercut on 10th Fear. Maybe that's going to help DP.
Yeah, Overdyking's clearly looking the stronger of these two. Taking a lot more speed through the corners. Yeah, I think Overdyking may have gone for my strategy of taking a touch more downforce, because he realised last year he was super quick in this straight line, but he was losing out heavily in them in the fast sector 1. And here we go, easy overtake for Overdyking into P3.
And there he goes, and they are both on equal tyres. I'm just thinking, if they've started on the prime tyres, they're going to be looking to do hopefully about 10 laps on them. The primes here are not too bad. It's the options that are fast but wear out extremely quick. Ray, I do believe you may have some information on last season's pit stops. Do you have that with you?
Yeah, most drivers pitted 3 times, and Jamie James done a 2-stop.
Alright, thank you very much for that. So Jamie James 2-stopped last season. He may consider that this season, but DP is in the pits, like you say, and it's going to be interesting where 10th Fear is going to be.
Here we go, the strategies are playing out. The primes have gone through.
Where's Maranello? Maranello is going down the start and finish straight. He's going to be past DP. I think he's not going to quite get 10th Fear though. No, he's not got 10th Fear. A little bit of a lock up there.
Jamie James, it's going to be close now with DP. No, GT5 King's even jumped in front of DP. This is massive disappointment for DP.
So Jamie James pitted one lap earlier than DP, so that's why he's got the undercut.
Yeah, Jamie James followed Maranello in, and DP is trying to fight back, trying to light them tyres up, and GT5 King's getting out of position, unfortunately. I think this is going to be an easy pickings now for DP. I'm wondering if GT5 King, he did have that off, I'm wondering if he hasn't stopped yet.
I do believe he's not pitted yet. I'm sure Ray can find out for us from looking at the race director.
Yeah, he's struggling as GT5 King now. DP needs to make this move and get on with it.
No, he's not pitted. Maranello is quite close to 10th Fear.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's not made the move at DP. I think he is doing. Under braking. And that's an easy move. So yeah, back up with 10th Fear and Maranello.
What's that down in the pits?
Front three are all prime runners, which are Overdyking, Batman and Konzo 1993, who was
Overdyking's in the pits.
Konzo's actually running on the option tyres, so he took them fairly long to cover off what Overdyking's doing.
He's taking them option tyres as long as Overdyking took the primes, so he's looking in a good position for this race. Maranello's just setting the lap time.
No, he isn't going to block him. I thought it was the timing was gonna hold Overdyking up slightly. We've got anybody coming down pit lane? Oh, side-by-side action with Maranello and 10th Fear through turn 1, now heading through turn 2 into this fantastic sector 1. Oh, 10th Fear's gone deep. Maranello's just eyeing this up. He's just trying to test 10th Fear, trying to push his buttons, trying to get him out of shape.
Yeah,
if he needs to get him out of shape, he needs to do it now.
Pushing him through that sector is what's going to damage the tyres. That's what he's trying to do there, and I think 10th Fear might have spun him up a little.
It's got a nice run through that sector 1. It's all about keeping calm, getting on the power, and 10th Fear's got a good bit of traction out of there.
And Jamie James is not far behind these two, not far at all.
Maranello's going to go for the move. Here we go. Yeah, he has. He's dropped a lot. Oh, Maranello. Oh, that was a lovely bit of racing. Just proper scared Temp Fear. Give him a car's width, but just sort of said, I'm locking up. You're going to have to take avoiding collision, avoiding action. And Temp Fear, I've got to say, lots of drivers would not have even bothered. They'd have carried on turning in. And fantastic to see Temp Fear actually reacting to other drivers. That was these two were absolutely fantastic at racing.
I mean, Maranello there, yes, he did lock up, but he still made sure that Temp Fear had that extra bit of space. You know, he left car width on the exit of the corner, but it basically was you can have a car width, but no more.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we've got race leader in the pit, which was Conzo, I believe. No, it wasn't. It's Bartman. So that's
Maranello's gone for
Maranello is making move. Yeah, here we go. Is this going to be enough? This is going to be so close. Temp Fear's running him out of space just. Oh, this is side by side. Maranello's up! Oh, I think that was Maranello being a slightly bit too much optimistic there. But this has allowed Jamie James to now jump all over the back of Temp Fear. I did feel like that was Temp Fear's sector 1 there, and Maranello was just getting a bit too optimistic, but Jamie James is now sniffing all over the back of Temp Fear, and he goes for the move up the inside. Temp Fear not turning in on him and swiping his rear end like he did to me last year, but this is fantastic wheel-to-wheel racing between these two now, Mercedes and Ferrari.
I'll tell you what, if these keep battling like this, DP will soon close them in.
Oh, both absolutely giving respect, giving space. And this is still side by side for the lead. This is just too good to turn away from. Temp Fear is going to have the inside for the next, but it's Jamie James going to set up the exit. No, Temp Fear, he's got the move. That was fantastic driving between them two.
I'm wondering if Temp Fear's got high downforce, and that's why he's so good through the last sector and the first sector, but he's getting overtaken down the fast straights.
Oh yeah, so Maranello's, to add to his misery, he's got Overdyking, who's jumped out in front of him on a set of fresh options, and these primes for Maranello are going to feel like the worst tyres to be on when you've just had a mistake and you've just chucked away 9 seconds. But up at front, Jamie James and Temp Fear still going at it, as Jamie James got what it takes to take the lead of this race all the way to the end. 18 laps to go.
I think he has.
Including the one they're on. Oh, Temp Fear's gone wide. Jamie James gone wide in sympathy. And DP, this is what he's been wanting. He's been running in clear air. He's looked after his tyres, gone 1 lap longer, and these two are now going to be sitting ducks if they can't continue to fight. And I think Jamie James has just realised this, as he just drops off the back of Temp Fear, trying to look after his tyres.
Well, this is just showing why Jamie James is currently the #1 driver in the Ferrari team, because he deserves to be up there, doesn't he?
Oh, he's
it's only commentary.
Oh, he's got a lot of pace though, Jamie James, especially in slow corners. Temp Fear really struggling in slow corners. He seems to be having a lot more pace in sector 1, but Jamie James in this final sector 3 has got tons of traction, and this is exactly what you need. Yeah, Temp Fear's having to lift off the throttle through there. Jamie James keeping it nailed, and DP looks to be doing the same too.
I mean, if DP in this situation now, do you attack? Do you sit and wait because you know you've got the better tyres because you've pitted later? I mean, we've seen what can happen when an overtake comes along at this circuit. I mean, you can very easily end up in a hospital ward.
Yeah, you could. Well, yeah, very easily. But it's all about, you get points at the end of the race, and you get more grip if you continue to.
Temp Fear's gone wide. James is going to take.
But Jamie James on the outside is going to do the up and under. That's a brilliant move. He's going to take it all the way around the outside now. Jamie James, what a move! That is fantastic. The Scuderia going mental. Arriva Benny's jumping up and down, but Temp Fear, has he got the grip between his teeth? He's going for the inside line.
That was one of the moves of the season so far, right there.
That was fantastic from Jamie James. Absolutely set that up. But now, as he set himself up, because Temp Fear's straight back in the slipstream, along with DP. I think DP's going to get the both of them here. Or at least Jamie James. No, he's breaking early. He's sinking conservatively. Temp Fear's jumped back in front, and once again we see Temp Fear on the straights, clearly running less downforce than Jamie James.
Oh, Jamie James is really
catching up in these guys.
That's going to be something to keep an eye on. But also, Ray, something I'm interested in is early on we saw oh dear me, what was his name? Danevs lose his front wing. Can we confirm he's still in this race, and what position is he in?
Sorry?
Danevs, is he still in this race?
He was. Yeah, he's in 10th.
That's nice to see. In previous races he would have quite easily said, you know what, I've had enough. But it's nice to see that he's took his car back to the pits, got some new front wing on, and is still within the points. And that's what he needs to do to help his team this season.
And yeah, as we know, anything can change if these front three take themselves out in a mass car pile-up. That's a lot of points on offer for Danev, so she'd never give up.
But also in practice around here, it's so easy to pick penalties up. I mean, we've said before that certain circuits like to disqualify people. This one seems to like to hand out penalties, and that could be something that would be a big factor when it comes to looking at the podium at the end of the race.
Yeah. I think that's why Jamie James has set his car up for Sector 1, because he knows if you rack up penalties, it's no good even if you win. So you need to get the car set up for Sector 1 and just deal with it, because he's struggling even for straight line speed behind Temp Fear, and he's going round the outside now. Here we go.
There's left room on the inside, but he's got the inside for the next corner, so can he keep that position? I think he might do it.
The same.
Whoa,
very
tight.
Close. This is, I've got to say, in terms of racing, this has been one of the best in terms of wheel-to-wheel battles. Oh, Jamie James, slight rear end instability. Is that the first sign of them tyres going, or is it just DP piling the heat on the back?
Could quite well be, but if there's, I tell you what, pit stops are not going to be far off, you know, and I think
DP's in.
He is.
DP's trying the undercut.
Now he was the one that
overdiking coming.
He was one of the later ones to pit, so he's actually switching his strategy slightly here, because he obviously feels he's getting stuck behind these guys.
Yeah, Jamie James so close behind Temp Fear, but I think he's going to have to sit and wait and hope that Temp makes a mistake through Sector 1.
I'll tell you what, if there's any young gamers out there that loves racing Formula 1 games and wants to take part, this is the sort of level you need to be at to be in this league. We can help you get to that level. You can come and join our Fridays racing league.
Temp Fear's made the mistake, and Jamie James is sniffing, trying to get him out of position. He's going to get better traction through this corner, and here we go, heading down the hill. And if you want to watch setting up an overtake, you need to sit back and relax right now, because Jamie James, I think he's just set Temp Fear up.
I think
he's going to make this move.
He knew exactly what he was doing there. But I tell you what, Temp Fear's got such a much better exit out of that corner.
Yeah, it's the straight line speed of the rear downforce, and Jamie James, unfortunately, he needs to get straight in that slipstream straight away, try and chew them rears, because he knows DP's gone for the undercut.
And Marinello's not far behind. I've just seen a Marushan. Surely that's Marinello that's behind over Dykink. For saying that he had that incident, he's not far away. I don't think we can rule him out yet.
Now we're going to see these leaders jumping at the pits, or they're going to do their own strategy and keep going.
Well, we'll soon find out, because here is the pit lane.
James is in.
They're both. It was like, are you? Because if you are, I am.
Alright, is the pit crew, the Ferrari's going to be able to play a blinder, and even better, we've got Marinello. Is he going to hold these guys up? Marinello's running through the pit lane now. Yeah, Jamie James has been held.
Well, DP is just coming down the start-finish straight, but he did get stuck behind Konzo towards the end of that lap, so that may have just held him up a little.
DP's easily jumped him. DP's easily jumped them. Temp Fear's at least 3 seconds behind him now, so that's a big undercut.
It is.
We've got side-by-side action with Marinello and GT5 King.
So GT5 King is yet to do his second pit stop. Marinello's pitted twice now, I believe. So he I say he's not that far away from the top 3 or 4 cars, and I do think, you know, he's going to the pit because he's just pitted and Overdijking's going to go a few more laps. I think he'll have a move on Overdijking through the strategy there.
How many laps did Overdijking go?
Well, it was the same as Konzo. It was 8 on the prime. So then he's gone on the option to. Oh no, is he on the option or is he on the prime now?
Konzo's on the option now, and he's running in 8th place.
Yeah, and Overdijking he's on the option, and he pitted lap 8, so he's done from lap 8 to lap 14. So he's done 6 laps on them, and it is this sort of point in time where they start to say, "I've had enough."
And Bartman's also running long, and he's on another set of prime tyres.
And we do have Overdijking into the pits.
Yeah.
So
he's Bartman staying out. Yeah, he is. It's going long. Two long stints on 2 sets of primes.
So this maybe then bringing Bartman back into play as well. Anything can happen. There's going to be 5, 6 cars all thinking they can win this race from this position, surely.
Where is Overdijking going to filter out? He's just heading down. Tempfear's passed.
What about Jamie James is passed? Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming out just behind Maranello. Yeah.
And the tyres that he's on is the option tyres. They are the faster of the tyres, but he'll be looking to do option again from this point, and hopefully got enough speed to catch up the guys that are ahead of him. I'm starting to lose who's in what position with all of these pit stops, thinking who's actually running in first place, and it is Bartman still.
So Bartman, yeah. But he's only done 1 stop. We've got DP, he's done 2 stops, he's on the option tyre now. Did the undercut on Tempfear, who's also on the option tyre. He's done 2 stops, along with Jamie James, who's also on the option tyre, has done 2 stops. Maranello, he's done 2 stops, and he's on options. Overdijking, he's running his 2nd set of options, and he's in P6.
Yeah, and just looking at the gap difference, we've got DP 5.1 seconds behind the leader, and Tempfear 7.8. So from DP's pit stop, that undercut gained him about 3 seconds.
Not only has it gained him 3 seconds, he is closing in hand over fist over Bartman. Bartman's struggling on these sets of primes. And I tell you, he's wanting long stints, but unfortunately he's going to find himself getting swallowed up by DP and the chasing pack pretty soon.
Yeah, and Maranello is only a couple of seconds behind Jamie James, and DP needs a good finish here from Maranello. It was unfortunate the contact that he had. Don't know, we didn't quite see it on this screen what exactly happened, but I can tell you that Maranello is catching up Jamie James, and if he's catching up Jamie James, he's also catching up Tempfear.
Yeah, from memory, I might be completely wrong, but it did look as though Maranello had stuck his nose in a gap that was always going to end up single file. A bit like Eau Rouge, you can only go through that corner single file. It's one of them, a racing incident, unfortunately.
And we're on a lap 16 of a 28 lap race, and at this point I'm going to ask Ray if you could have a look on YouTube, see if we've got any answers to the question of the day, which was how many top 3 finishers did Dick Dastardly and Muttley have in their 34 races?
We have one from Will Butler. He said Dastardly won 1 race.
Did he?
One thing we can see here is Bartman.
Did you know the answer?
I know the answer, but I'm not going to give the answer away.
Apologies, guys.
Yeah.
Apologies to butt in, but DP is all over the back of Bartman, and Bartman is struggling like mad. He needs to get in the pit lane because DP is just going to chew him up pretty soon. And
DP is going to want him to get in that pit lane because he's not going to want him to hold him up.
He is. Yeah, we've got Tempfear and Jamie James closing in.
I mean, from this point, looking at who's done what strategies, I'm not going to ask any of the commentary team. This is another question to the guys that are watching on YouTube. Who's your money on? Because at this point, you've got guys on different strategies. Yes, you've got DP in the lead, but you've got a guy behind him, Tempfear, who is very quick, but his tyres might burn out, might end up having to do an extra pit stop. You've got Jamie James, who could make a two-stop work. You've got Marinello, who is a newcomer to the league. He's a reserve driver. We are still unaware of exactly what he is capable of. Bartman has only just pitted for his second stop.
I'm putting a few quid down at the bookies right now for Marinello because of the gap he has pulled in over Jamie James. When Jamie James pitted, he was about 4 seconds behind, and they pitted at the same time.
Yeah.
And the gap he's closed in is absolutely epic.
I mean, I wouldn't even rule out over Dykink at this point because, okay, he's not made those options last very long, but he's fast, he's quick enough, and he could just come out of nowhere in that last stint.
Yeah. The good thing for over Dykink is he can see the pack in front of him.
Yeah. And it's always easier to chase.
Yeah. And it's always demoralising if you can't see the pack you're chasing.
I'm trying to get
Marinello, I think he's eyeing this move up already on Jamie James. Same grip level.
He's looking very comfortable on these tyres.
And he's looking super comfortable. I think Jamie James is going to be getting a bit frustrated because at one point Jamie James was looking the strongest of the lot.
Well, that fastest lap time that we've just seen pop up for Marinello with 38.8, hang on.
Squeeze up the inside, here we go. Jamie James trying it round the outside, and that was a bit rude there from Jamie James. He gave a car's width for nothing else. That was... I'd at least give another car's width, especially if I can hear tyres locking up. That was like we saw with Temp Fear earlier. Temp Fear, he heard the tyres locking up and he gave a little bit of extra room in order to continue racing wheel to wheel, but unfortunately that, from my point of view, Marinello clearly had a little snip up the inside and Jamie James said, I'm giving you a car's width and nothing else, and it was always going to be a little bit of a tap, a little bit of bump and grind there going on in turn one.
Yeah, and I'm just looking from backwards from Jamie James, and Marinello has lost out massively there. That gap is huge, but I wouldn't be surprised if Marinello could pull that gap back in again. It is possible.
Yeah, I would be seeing red if I were Marinello. I'd need to see the move again, but it did look as though Jamie James just gave a car's width. He played it exactly within the rules, but very, very Schumacher-esque there from Jamie James.
Yeah, it was this is what you're allowed. What was... Oh, we didn't actually get to that. I do apologise. Let's have a quick look. Jamie James's pre-race comment was rather an interesting one. It was, tell the media to keep their pokey noses out. But...
Oh, he needs to keep his nose out, because I think he may have just had a massive moment in the last corner, because when we came around the corner on board with Marinello, he was right up against the pit wall.
Ooh. Yeah, he did. He lost the rear end.
That was
also just goes on to say that Jamie James, he did make the point that his aim is to beat Dom and to finish in the top 3, so that's what he's trying to do, finish in the top 3 and beat Dom. And do you know what, at the moment that's what he's doing.
Temp Fear is locking on to the back of DP. His tyres are 1 lap fresher. Has he got DRS? We're about to find out. He'll be able to close up. I don't think it's close enough for
no,
him.
It's 1.1 seconds.
Oh, I'll be gutting inside that helmet.
You'd be sat there going, why have I not got DRS? I must be within 1 second.
Well, he's definitely within 1 second now. Just needs to be calm and consistent.
He's got the speed at the moment, and that could be the difference in the tyre life. And with 9 after this lap, 9 laps to go. Well, what do we say about strategies from this point? Who's going to do what? Because you could put a set of primes on and go from the end, and you could get a big undercut on some guys that are running on the worn options.
DP's had a little bit of a moment. I think Temp Fear is going to make the move down into turn 1. DP knows it. He's going defensive, forcing him to the outside. That's where he wants him. Temp Fear's going deep on the brakes, turning in. Is he going to do the up and under? Oh, on power. That is as close as you want to get. That is fantastic from Temp Fear. But no, DP's covered that move off. That was saying no way through sunshine. But as Temp Fear riled him enough to get him out of position in this fast section. Oh, this is playing dare, playing chicken with your front wing. And Temp Fear looks to have just lost out there.
It's a very risky thing to do, follow someone that closely through that sector, whereas what you need to be as close as you can be down this part of the circuit. He is within half a second, so this time he will have the DRS.
Yeah, he's broke.
These top 4 are going to bunch up again for the looks of it.
Yeah, Maranello's coming back for vengeance on Jamie James. Tammy, there we go. And Temp Fear's going deep on the brakes. He's going for a look up the inside, but he's braked early just to give DP enough space. And this is what I'm talking about. When you give people enough space, you get fantastic wheel-to-wheel racing. When you turn in and there's a little bit of contact, it always is going to happen when it's wheel to wheel. But Temp Fear has shown that he is so aware even when braking late, he knows how to give space, and it's so good to see.
And it's one of the reasons.
He's in along with Temp Fear.
It's one of the reasons why he's had so many good point-scoring finishes. He's kept his car facing the right direction with all its body parts on for most of the races. And I'm just wondering, just to say, Temp Fear might jump DP in the pits. We've seen this before where the Mercedes follows in Madame Marussia but comes out ahead. Yeah,
he has. He's jumped in front.
And that's because the Madame Marussias have to wait for that car coming down the pit lane.
Whoa, that is going to be so gutting.
And that's why the constructors' finishing order at the end of the season is so important for you to decide what car you want for the following season. Because DP, Front Racing DP and Kev 187, having the Marussia is definitely giving them more work to do. Basically, they've just gifted a position.
Yeah. You've got to know that when you pit, you've not got somebody right behind you. And I think the lap before that, DP did make a little move towards the pit lane to sort of say, I might go in, sort of tempting Temp Fear into the pits, but he didn't have any of it. He followed him straight in.
No, I'm just wondering, with the amount of laps they've got left to go, I mean, they are both on the option tyres. Those tyres will go to the end.
Yeah,
but
this is war now. This is war between these two.
Yeah. DP can make his tyres last quite well. Temp Fear in the past has struggled with tyre life, and I'm not sure if Temp Fear was 100% sure about his pit stop then. He just did it because DP did it and he didn't want to get massively undercut.
Guys, I've got rain in my view.
Rain?
Yeah.
Okay, that must be one of those, I tell you what, it does look a bit cloudy over that way, but I'm just wondering whether it's... If we have any engineers out there that can confirm weather for us, that would be great, but I'm just wondering whether it's one of those visuals things with you being in late.
Race leader making a pit stop. It's Maranello. He's in along with Overdykink. Where is he going to filter out compared to Temp Fear and DP? They're already past, I think. They're going down the pit straight.
Yeah, they have. But Jamie James, how close is he?
Yeah. Jamie James, is he? Yeah, he's jumped out in front as well. Jumped out in front of Maranello.
But he's also a lot closer to DP than what he was before the pit stops.
Yeah, because with DP being held up, that's 2 seconds just gone down the drain.
Yeah. But I can see Maranello catching Jamie James up before the end of this race, because we saw he's got the pace in his car, and he is on fresher tyres with pitting that little bit later.
I can see war between Maranello and Jamie James, and war between Temp Fear and DP. DP needs to make sure Temp Fear does not beat him, because he needs more points than Temp Fear. If he lets Temp Fear get more points, he's almost the grip of the championship is slipping from his fingers if he don't get past.
I mean, DP at this point, we know he's good at not getting any points. Getting any penalties, and he'll be hoping that Temp Fear may have a couple, and that will just allow him to follow him to the finish. But Ray, down in the pit lane.
Yeah.
I was listening to the Ferrari pit wall, and Dom forgot to select his tyre, so he was praying it was options.
Didn't put intermediates on, did it?
No, put options on.
Batman race leader's going for the pit lane. Tempfear right behind him, and that's slowed him down slightly. It's just helped DP close in a few tenths in that final sector.
So when Bartman comes out of the pits, he'll have the freshest tyres of the top group, but he's going to have the most work to do.
Yeah, is he going to be near Overdyking, or is Overdyking going to jump?
Let's have a little look.
Yeah, he's jumped him. He's jumped him. Easy. It's already in turn 1, he's Overdyking.
Yeah, he is. But Bartman could close in that gap, having the tyres that are a couple of laps fresher. With the amount of laps to go, it is a possibility. Just having a look further down the order, Konzo in 7th place, going the wrong way on my screen, and GT5 King in 8th, Duo Finn in 9th, Dan Evs circulating in 10th, Jason running in 11th, with It's Hammer Time quite close behind him in 12th place, and back up the front we've got Tempfear followed by DP.
I am seeing a few clouds coming over the circuit. They're bubbling up, but they're not looking like rain showers yet.
No, I just saw an umbrella. Yeah, I did see an umbrella on mine, and I'm just wondering whether that was to shade them from the sun rather than the rain.
Or was that in your cocktail glass?
Oh, that's where it was. That's my sex on the beach drink, that's what it is.
Dom's finding the track difficult, James feeling good. We have an engineer that has said that a driver's got a penalty, so it could change.
Say that James is feeling good. I think he's dropping back now into the clutches of Maranello. I think he's going to have a bit of heat on his back, and is this round 2 as DP is clawing down Tempfear. His teammate is clawing down Jamie James.
Is he going to make? I thought he was going to go for a move because Jamie James went a bit wide.
He's just trying to annoy. Just trying to annoy Jamie James now.
I think he'll have him this lap.
And DP is closing in on Tempfear. I'll look at the lead and I'll let you know if it's getting close if you watch Maranello.
We are on board with Maranello. Well, on board. We are watching Maranello. And he looks so much quicker through that first sector than Jamie James. Or is it just the fact that Jamie James is trying not to get too many penalties and just being a bit cautious? Whereas Maranello's got nothing to lose really. He's got all to gain. And he is going to get the DRS. He is right up the rear of Jamie James. Actually went defensive, but he's gone wide. He's going to get the move done before the exit of the corner. He's ahead.
Side action, that's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. I'm looking at it in the background. That is fantastic. Maranello making the move on Jamie James.
And DRS open now, but I tell you what, Jamie James is still there or thereabouts with him. I think Maranello may have just thought, you know what, I won't run Rich down here, I've got the move done. But Jamie James was still there or thereabouts.
Yeah. DP is sniffing at the back of Tempfear, but Tempfear is having absolutely none of it.
I'm just wondering, you know, whether Jamie James is considering a move back on Maranello, but I think he's going to struggle a little bit at the moment. He did consider it in the previous corner, but I think before he gets a chance to, I think Maranello is going to run away. Is it another? I thought we might.
Yeah. Down the front, it's pretty close. DPs are going late on the brakes, trying to get Tempfear to get him out of position, but Tempfear is having absolutely none of it through this fast section. DP is not looking as strong as Tempfear. Tempfear is going to touch wide though. This may open up the opportunity for DP, who's sniffing a win. He's getting closer. I think Tempfear is feeling the heat, but once again the straight line speed of that Mercedes-Benz is absolutely epic.
He's got great corner exit traction in that car, definitely has. I think DP is going to have him, to be honest.
Yeah, this is going to be but once again, look up in the sky, and then them clouds are looking menacing. Now we're going to see a last lap rain dance from the front leaders as DP goes for the move deep down under braking, running Tempfear just wide, but Tempfear's coming back. He's got the inside for the next corner. This is brilliant wheel to wheel from these front runners, but not only front runners, title leaders at the moment. And DP, no matter what he does, Tempfear's got an answer.
Yeah, and this is why I'm saying that DP is going to be hoping that Tempfear is going to have penalties, because DP may also have penalties as well. We don't know, but DP may find it difficult to get this job done. But I tell you what, Maranello's catching DP up.
Yeah, yeah, he is.
I'm just wondering if DP knows that Maranello is on it at this circuit. He might as well let Maranello have a go at 10th
I think he's going to go for the move. He's deep on the brakes. No, 10th Fear. Oh, so close. 10th Fear just got a tap from DP. That was as close as you like. DP saying, hey, I'm here.
He's letting him
right
know.
Behind you. Yeah, he's saying, come on. He's letting him know what this is, and 10th Fear, I think he's feeling the fear from DP.
I mean,
and DP's trying to get him out of position.
Considering Maranello had that spin, where would he be if he hadn't?
Well, he's had the spin early on, then he had a tap from Jamie James and spun them. He's absolutely on it, is Maranello.
I don't know what broadband he's using, but it must be pretty quick. I want some.
Super fast, yeah.
Yeah, definitely is.
DP needs to make this move. Is he going to do it? I don't think he's got enough straight line speed.
No, he hasn't. But he needs. I think if he's going to do it, he needs to do it in a place where 10th Fear is going to expect it. He's not going to want to risk chucking it in somewhere that's not expected, because he can't afford for the both of them to be taken out. DP needs to finish this race.
Trying to wide line to open up the next corner, getting on traction at the same time as 10th Fear. He knows that 10th Fear is struggling in this long right-hander. And yeah, there we see he's clearly got more speed. He's having a little sniff up the inside trying to get 10th Fear out of position. And Maranello's in the background rubbing his hands, knowing if something happens he's on for the win.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sort of thing that I think DP, you know, might be better off with 2 laps to go.
He's going for the move. He's going to go for the move. He's up the inside into turn 1, locking the front left, but just getting in there. 10th Fear's giving him space. 10th Fear's going back around the outside. I think 10th Fear's going to just regain the lead. This is fantastic wheel to wheel from these two. Showing how it's done.
I think DP may have just taken a bit too much of turn 1 and had to do a bit of an ETL lift there, and that's what allowed Temp to come back at him.
Yeah. Now 10th Fear's not got the grip in these fast corners, and Maranello and DP, they're chomping all over the back, and if DP don't make this move soon, Maranello will make it for him.
Yeah, I think it's quite possible that could happen.
Oh, he brakes so late. He's just tapped the back of 10th Fear. Completely took 10th Fear out there, unfortunately for 10th Fear.
Now, what does DP do?
He's just broke too late there.
I mean, is that a DP error? Is that should he be given the position back?
I did feel if I was DP, I don't know if 10th Fear braked a touch early. He was losing grip. We are getting to the end of these options.
For a moving over by King.
Let's have a look while DP continues on in first place. And Bartman's ahead of Overdijking, so he's got that move done. Bartman's up into 5th place. Overdijking is 6th. Konzo running 7th. And who else do we have in the mix? Jamie James sitting in a comfortable 4th place position at the moment. But if you're DP, maybe you're in a situation where you're thinking, do you know what, I'm better off being ahead and trying to pull out a bit of a gap rather than giving the position back and not getting a penalty. Because he might, I don't know whether he's thinking, what penalty am I likely to get off the race stewards if for hitting it, or maybe the game has given him a penalty. And so what is possibly. There's no point in giving the position back if the game's given you a penalty. But I'm not saying it was his fault. We only got one view of it, but it was an interesting one.
We're on the last lap here. Maranello, has he been given team orders? It doesn't look like it.
He has been given team orders, and he won't be wanting to take the victory away from DP. His orders now will be hold 2nd place, and this is exactly what Mode Red Mana Marussia would have wanted. They would have wanted a 1-2 finish with DP ahead.
I've got to say, racer of the day for me, no matter what penalty outcome this may take, is Maranello. He's been clearly the fastest driver. He had 2 offs, one his fault, one 50-50. But yeah, clearly has had the pace to easily win this race. It's the man of the race for me.
I'd have to agree with you there. He's definitely showed he's got racecraft to race in this level of racing league. So, yeah, he's... Go on, Ray.
Sorry, but I looked back at DP's onboard stream. It looked like a wee bit of lag at the time.
Okay, we've got DP crossing the line, taking the victory with a 1-2 for Motorhead Mana Marussia. So DP...
The race winner has popped up on my screen as Maranello.
It changes, it does change. Every time a car goes over the line, it tells you that that car won the race. So the moment we're on board with Bartman, it will flick over to say he's in first place. There you go, it just did. It does that sometimes. Right. It's very confusing.
Just trying to trick me out.
Yeah, it does it sometimes, and it's a little confusing. But I tell you what a race we had there. A bit of an unfortunate incident, obviously, with Temp Fear having a bit of a spin, but so did Maranello, and DP struggling with his shoulder, but he's come away with the provisional victory. And it's going to be interesting to hear some of the podium comments. So I'm trying to make
it might be a bit of a frosty one.
It might well be. I'm going to just note down the finishing order we had on circuit, but it may change when we see the podium. So it was DP across the line first with RMS Maranello in second, with Temp Fear in third. But is that what we're going to see on the
well, unfortunately,
podium?
I'm not too sure who will pop out on the podium for the Mana Marussias. I'm not too sure on the drivers.
That's a good question.
Because with them not being headline drivers such as Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg,
you don't recognise the helmets. No,
yeah,
that's a good point. I don't know who is in which vehicle. Jason obviously happy there with finishing his race in 11th place. It may change depending on the outcome of certain things. So on the podium, what I can say is Temp Fear is on the third step. So we do have Motorhead Mana Marussia first and second.
Yeah, it's showing Will Stevens, which was DP's helmet.
I believe it was.
Technically, by the game, he's been gifted the win. Well, I shouldn't say gifted, I should say what a fantastic drive. All three, absolutely the best three drivers of the race, ended up on the podium.
Well, I've now got a new question for DP when he joins us for the podium questions, which is, how do you feel about being gifted for the win? But there we go. It was Temp Fear that was the one who had the penalty, and DP and Maranello had no penalties. Ray, are you able to find out Temp Fear, see what his penalty was for? See, that'd be interesting. Jamie James, 6-second penalties. Obadiah King finishing in 5th, Bartman 6th, Konzo 7th, GT5 King in 8th, Danevs in 9th, Joey Finn 10th, Jason in 11th, It's Hammer Time in 12th, Killer Corkin DNF'd in 13th, and then there was our commentary team there. So I tell you what, Jason got through that without any penalties. Obadiah King got through it without any penalties, and so did the Motorhead Mana Marussias. But it is a circuit that is so easy to pick penalties up. But there we go, most guys did do the 3 stops.
Corner cupping.
Corner cut, there we go then, that's what it was for. He'll be annoyed about that, but it didn't change the position on the podium. So Ray, I do believe you're the host of the chat party. If you could invite those top 3 in, that would be great. And I'm sure DP is going to be loving this.
Yeah, it'd be good to see his point of view from our cameras. It looked like he'd braked a touch late there.
Yeah.
Looked like he'd tagged the rear of Temp Fear, but we're not too sure if there's been a lag issue, if Temp's braked a touch earlier than he normally would. But I did think if I was DP from the camera view we had, I would have seen him jink a little bit left to overtake, but the move happened.
Fair play. I mean, if that sort of incident would normally give you, say, a standard 5-second penalty, if you then try and run away 5 seconds ahead, then you still keep your position above Temp Fear. Whereas if you give the place back, you're still going to then overtake him.
Yeah,
so
you've got to
you've all got to
think.
Work. You've got to try and mentally work all that out, all the time. What I will say at this point is, anyone that's watching on YouTube, if you want to ask any of the podium guys questions, please put before your question, put @Ray, and if you put @Ray, then your question, Ray will be able to look through them and pick some out and ask the top 3 drivers here the questions. Also, we're going to ask the top 3 the question of the day, see what their answers are, and we'll come back to the YouTube and find out if we had any more answers to the question of the day. So, do we have all 3 drivers in the chat room?
We're just waiting on temp for you.
Okay, great stuff. As RMS Maranello may not be used to this process, if you could make sure you've got your microphone set to shared, which is under the... In fact, actually, DP, would you like to explain it to him, because it's easier for you to say than me?
Sorry, explain what? I wasn't listening.
Just about settings.
To make sure his microphone's shared.
Yeah, if you just go into your party settings and make sure it's got your microphone set to allow it to be shared.
Yeah, always allowed, whatever it is.
Yeah, always allowed.
Yeah, great stuff.
Before we get going, Temp Fear, I have sent you a message on PSN.
Now, would that have anything to do with an apology?
It was, I don't know what happened there. You lagged, then was sideways.
Okay, that was going to be one of my first questions. What happened? Because to us it looked like you kind of like went, get out of the way.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. We could.
Well,
I'm not like. To be fair, if I was going to do that, I'd have done it a couple of laps earlier when I gave them a little tap in turn 1.
Well, just before you say too much, for anyone that doesn't know Dave's familiar voice, this is Front Row Racing DP. He finished on top step. He's the one that took the checkered flag. So well done to Front Row Racing DP. You may carry on.
Thank you. Yeah, going through sector 1, I think it was the lap before, and Temp did seem to be quite. It caught me off guard. It was a little slow through that section. But then the next lap, we're going through there, and it's like, hang on, he's lagging. I think we came through turn 9. That's the little horrible left-hander before the downhill, and there was quite a bit of lag. And then as we're heading down towards turn 11, all of a sudden there was quite a bit of lag, and his car was completely sideways. And I'm like, I haven't seen a hit, I haven't seen contact. He's just gone sideways. I don't know what's happened there. And then I'm in the situation of, what do I do?
Yeah.
And the only thing I could do in that situation was carry on and let
shrug your shoulders,
because I don't know what happened there.
Okay.
One of them.
Yeah. Well, my first proper question to you is going to be. James said at the end there you were gifted the win. Do you feel like you were gifted the win?
Yeah. In all fairness, RMS Maranello deserved to have the victory.
We'd agree. I'd agree.
Maranello.
And I will admit, he did say to me on the last couple of laps, I think it was the last lap, he says, do you mind if I have the win? I said, you know, ordinarily I'd say, yeah, no problem, but I need the points.
Well, this is the next question, which is, and in fact, James, you probably know what the question is, if you want to ask it.
Well, I was just going to say, when I said you were gifted the win, it was just down to the fact that Maranello throughout that race was absolutely on it. Yeah. Not that you wasn't yourself, but he had 2 incidents where he was facing completely the wrong direction and still finished right up behind you, and I thought to myself, you know what, if team orders weren't involved, DP would have had a struggle to keep him behind. So I've got to say massive props to P2, but DP, you needed them points, you needed that win over Temp Fear. How are you feeling?
You know what, I'm actually deflated. It's going to sound weird, I am deflated, because all night and today it has, like, I'd already decided, okay, Maranello's quick around here, and then with my issues earlier on today, I was like, you know what, there's a damn good chance he's going to win this. If he's in first and I'm in second, then I won't call team orders, because that would be wrong. Not wrong, but he did deserve the win, but like, had those collisions not happened, you would not have heard me say, do us a favour, can I have the position? It wouldn't have happened. But I do feel a little bit deflated in that his race went the way it did, and at the end I did have to kind of be a bit of an arse and go, can you do me a favour, can you just hold station? And to his credit, he said, no problem, I won't attack you.
Well, it was the old Damon Hill Jordan days coming back. But you know, you need them points. You need to beat Temp Fear. But I did say before the podium chat, I think Maranello is going to be the happiest man on that podium.
So how do you feel, Maranello, about your race?
My race went, well, excellently, I guess, apart from the 2 incidents that I had. I think if I'd managed to get past without any incidents, I would have had a clean race. But no, it was good. So I'm happy. Thank you for Dave for the kind words, and I'm happy to help him in the championship as much as possible without causing any other drivers damages or anything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
I want to ask you the question though: if you had have been in first place, you know, because obviously you set a great pole time and you were in first place at certain points. If you were able to be in first place towards the end with DP in second, would you have been waiting for DP to say to you, "Can I have it?" or would you have said to DP, "You can have it"?
I would have always offered, because I know I'm not in the championship and I know I'm just helping the constructors. So I've got nothing to lose, and I'm only out here to prove myself. So.
And you can do that without taking the win, mate. You did that without taking the win.
So Maranello, just before we go, Maranello, I've got to say you've impressed us massively in the first 2 races. The rest of this season, you are sort of rear gunner for DP for the rest of the championship. But for next year,
I'm just saying that unless Kev is ready to return, because that seat is open for Kev. Yeah.
If there's a spot comes available, you'll be a free agent. How are you feeling for next year when there'll be no restrictions?
Who says you'll be a free agent? I might sign him up early.
Oh, here we go.
He might already be signed up for all we know.
Kevin, please.
Yeah, might. Well, for all we know, Kev might have already signed up Maranello. But anyway, I forgot what I was at. Maranello, brilliant race, well done. And I tell you what, any more races that you are in this season, we will be looking at you closely, because you've impressed everyone that's watched you today. And we actually called Driver of the Day before the end of the race. So well done for Driver of the Day.
Thank you very much.
No problem. So we may come back to you for another question in a moment, because we may have some from YouTube, so stay with us. On to Temp Fear then, in 3rd place. How did start off with qualifying? How did qualifying go for you there, Temp?
Disappointing again.
I thought it might have done.
Yeah, it was so close, wasn't it, for P1? Yeah. It was less than a tenth.
Yeah, the last 3 races I've been Russia and here I've been a second off my PB. In Japan I was 2 seconds off my PB. Qualifying is just not going well for me at the moment.
Sometimes, go on.
Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, sometimes what you will find is you've got your PB, you know what you're expected to do. Come to race day, that pressure is on there for you to set that lap. You've got to get a lap set, and that's why quite often when you're in the league, you don't hit anywhere near your PBs. It can quite often happen.
I would say it was pressure, because I'm generally not someone that falls under pressure, if I'm honest. I just, the first sector was 3/10 off.
Yeah.
But it felt good. Nothing was wrong with it. I'm just not getting the same feel almost, but
yeah.
Well, improvement.
Well, you can't grumble with second on the grid, but it wasn't long before you were finding yourself in first place.
Yeah.
And also, we did see again in the pits, you overtook DP in the pit stops. How did you feel when you came out ahead of DP when you both pitted at the same time?
Well, I knew there was a chance I'd do it, but then I saw James clean, and I thought, I'm going to get held up here.
But you were the one that actually benefited, which we've seen on quite a few times.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, and
Dave had a few beep words under his helmet.
no beep words, just constant beep, 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 again, beep, 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 not Manor next season, beep, beep.
Need a new pit crew,
I knew I should have let him pass before I pitted.
Yeah, well, going on to the last lap then, turn 11. what we saw was your car spinning with DP driving past you. So what was it from your view? What happened?
Well, you know the video you shared on Facebook, probably about 6:30.
Oh yeah.
It felt exactly the same thing.
So for anyone that's
out the way.
Yeah, so for anyone that's not seen that, basically there's traffic lights with a big juggernaut that wipes out loads of cars. Yeah. So
can you rephrase that, please?
Destroys, completely obliterates them off the face of the earth. Yeah, but at least you were able to still finish in 3rd place. But I want to ask you about your penalty, because you were the driver in the top 3 that had a penalty, and we weren't sure who had what penalties, and we weren't sure who was going to be where. At what point did that penalty happen, and how annoying was it?
I think it was on my 3rd stint, and it was the first time I messed up the blind left-hander in the last sector. The first time I messed it up, and I got an instant penalty.
Yeah, it is.
At that point, I was just like, that's very annoying. I want to punch someone now.
Yeah. So what's more annoying? Would it have been more annoying winning the race, but then being demoted 2 places because of a 3-second penalty, or for what actually happened for you still to finish in 3rd place?
Well, I'm just annoyed at my pace in general. About half the laps were brilliant, half the laps were terrible. I'm just... Wait, at one point I should have had like a 10-second lead, and I didn't.
But I tell you what, your racecraft today, if it wasn't for RMS Maranello, your racecraft today could have maybe have given you driver of the day, because when you watch this footage back, you'll see how well you drove around other vehicles, and you were great today. So stay with us. Sorry, James, go on.
There was one moment, can I just butt in?
Yeah.
Well, one moment, Tempfear, where it showed that you were on another level in terms of driving standards. I think you had a car up your inside heading down the long back straight. Yeah. You're on the outside, they were on the inside. You turned in and you heard the lockup. You undid the steering. You undid the steering and returned in. Absolutely, 100% give you maximum respect for that, because a lot of other drivers, they just give a car's width and nothing more, and if that collision happens, they don't care. And that just put you on another level, just that extra bit of awareness.
But that was fantastic. Was like that video again. I'm like, nah, I don't want that car to be the truck and destroy me again.
I think it was Maranello. I think it was Maranello that was up the inside there. Well, I'll tell you what, well done to all 3 of you.
Can I really ask about the contact I had with Maranello, because I'm not 100% sure what happened.
Well, on my screen anyway, we were side by side coming out of the first corner. Yeah. And then for the first left, we were side by side, but on my screen, it showed your car to come straight across mine. And I guess that just...
Yeah,
from the point where I saw he was there, but it's like,
it's a single file, yeah,
it's difficult. Well, I'll tell you what,
really keep an eye on me, but
it was, I believe it was seen on the footage, so it'll be something that stewards will probably want to have a little look at, and we'll all find out exactly what happened. Well, thank you for answering my questions. Please stay with us, because we want to go over to Ray. Ray, down in the pit lane with the YouTube comments. What do we have?
Question. No, I wasn't sleeping. I'm copying and pasting questions into my notepad. I've got it, so I'm getting good with a computer these days. Question for 10. At the end, was your last pit stop because DP went in, or was it planned because you knew to get out in front of DP when you went in at the same time?
Well, I saw him pit for the second stop. He pitted before 16 laps to go, so I knew he was going to do 2 laps today. So I thought, I'm going to have to... I couldn't let him get the undercut again because he'd come out 3 seconds down the road, so I kind of had to pit no matter what when he did.
Yeah. At that moment in time, it worked for you. So great. Next question, Ray?
Yeah.
So you don't know about the Mana Mauritius pit problems then?
Oh, I know about that. It's been in the past few games.
From Nightwalker, so the last question was from Stocky, this one's from Nightwalker. How did Temp feel about the incident before the long straight?
it was just a bit frustrating, you know, just braking fine. I'm like, well, normal. I was expecting someone to throw it at the inside, and all of a sudden the car just instantly sideways. I'm like, no problem.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure you'd have known that with a driver like DP, it's not the sort of thing you would deliberately do. I'm pretty.
I see him in practice. He always does it.
What was interesting? I'll tell you what was interesting with what Tem said there, though. Was I wasn't going for an overtake, I was behind him.
Yeah.
By a good car length or so. Well, at least that's what
it was like Kev at Singapore, just scooping people out his way.
Yep. Ray, next one.
Storky to DP. Is the third title dream alive? Do you think you can do it? Can you do it?
You know what, I don't know, because this race, I don't know if it was mentioned in commentary at all, but this was the hardest race I've ever had. Struggling to turn left and having to put on extra aeros to try and compensate for it.
I didn't mention
some of the problems.
I didn't mention the extra aeros. I mentioned that you were struggling with your shoulder.
Yeah, I had to go extra aeros to try and compensate for not being able to turn. If I have the same problem in the final races, no, it ain't going to be on, because I think, to be fair, I got very lucky today.
Well, we all know what you need to stop doing. Right, next question.
Kendall, I blame you.
Okay.
Hang on a minute. How is it her fault?
I know you're going to get into that.
Right. Okay. Next question.
Stocky to Temp. Do you think you can hold off the experience and racecraft of Dave? And what are your plans for next season?
I'll answer the last question first. I'll be awkward. I don't know what I'll do next season. If I'll be racing or if I won't be. I have no idea yet.
Right, what about the first part?
First part, I've got my own experience in other leagues. And I think today was the first race where me and DP have had a proper battle, really, all season.
I think, from what I remember, yeah.
Yeah, in terms of racecraft, I think we're both quite evenly matched, so to speak. It's just going to be across the consistent every lap now.
Well,
it'll be interesting now. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm hoping it comes down to the last race, and it all comes down to the last lap, but not turn 11. Right.
Hammer time 44 to DP. Have you found a new teammate in RMS Maranello?
I didn't choose my reserve driver on a whim.
Ooh.
Alright, I'm having Kev. No, everyone drivers. Leave your no more options, did mine.
In all fairness, Kev's my teammate. If Kev is able to return this season, unfortunately for Maranello, it is Kev's seat. If Kev wants to return next season and continue being teammates, then that would probably be on the cards. But I tell you what, if RMS Maranello is there for a World Championship drive next season, then every single one of the drivers on the grid could do nothing but benefit from having him as a teammate.
Oh, cheers. Thank you.
Apart from you, Temp.
Sign him up quick.
You and Kev.
Yep, there's no guarantee that RMS Maranello is going to have a seat available for him, but there's a good chance that if one is available, it'll be snapped up by a number of teams or be wanting to be snapped up. Ray, any more?
No, that's us. It's driver comments, and I'll get to them.
Yep, great stuff. So we want to say thank you very much to the top 3 drivers. Just a quick reminder that those finishing positions are provisional until the Front Row Racing race directors and stewards have done what they need to do. So thank you very much to Front Row Racing DP, RMS Maranello and Temp Fear.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you very much.
Ollie. Well done, Temp.
Well done, Temp.
Thank you very much. So then, Ray, what do we have from the drivers?
Overdye King, he said, if you've seen last season, I hate this track to bits. Don't know what's wrong, I can't find the pace here. 1.5 seconds off the pace. And then GT5 King 7-8 for Team Freedom McCann. Honda could have been better, but it's points. And he spun himself, too much throttle at the wrong time. He had no contact between teammates.
Before you say anything else, Rianne, we saw it. Ha ha ha. Alright, carry on.
I'm looking. There was another one, where was it?
Okay, why haven't
Hammer Time 44, yeah. He done, sorry, I didn't know. See, because I wasn't on board that Hammer Time 44 much, because I was at the back of the field. I forgot he was in the race. Did 3 stops, but didn't have any pace. Really, through the race. Didn't have a rhythm, but in practice I had much better pace than I did in the race. He had an incident with dual fin. He said, I hit him in turn 1, my fault, and he said what penalty I received.
Well, that's unfortunate when you got to think the reason why he was starting at the back for this race was because of an incident in the previous race. So yeah, he's going to have to get used to turn 1s. But just to mention on that, I mean, I'm not laughing at it's Hammer Time. I was laughing at the fact that you forgot he was there. To say just one thing about him, he has won a race this season. He has converted now over onto a wheel. He's doing very well in what he's doing and getting used to that wheel, and he is preparing for next season, and we wish him all the best luck with that. Do we have any more drivers' comments, Ray, or do we have that as it? I didn't ask the podium drivers question of the day, did I? Never mind.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
No.
Maranello's still here, so I'm sure you can ask him.
Oh, is he still here? Okay. Alright. I don't think I got James's answer either. So, question of the day. How many top 3 finishers in 34 races did Dick Dastardly and Muttley achieve in wacky races?
What a question. Oh my god. Do you know what? How many top teeth? Let's
Top
say,
3.
Yeah.
I'll say 1.
34 races. So we've got a 1 from James. We had a 1 earlier on from Will Butler. So how many? How many do you think then, Marinello? Come on, give us your answer.
Do you know what? I'm going to go for my number is 5.
Well, over to Ray on YouTube. How many people can you guess? How many people do you think may have got the right answer? I'm going to tell you, and you can tell us which people may have got the right answer. We've got DP in here. Let's have an answer off DP. DP, what's your answer for question of the day?
I'll sneak it in again. I've not heard the question of the day.
How many?
Just get over and done with.
How many top 3 finishers in 34 races did Dick Dastardly and Muttley have in wacky races?
Bloody hell.
That was my reaction.
Okay.
Yeah.
68.
In 34 races.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 of them, so it counts as 1 each. Podium every time equals 68.
You're wrong. Anyway.
Okay.
For anyone that got the correct answer, well done. The correct answer is what Ray said originally, which was, Ray?
None, because they're cheats.
None, because they cheat. Exactly. They didn't get any top 3 finishes in any of their races. So well done to anyone on YouTube that got the correct answer. So yeah, well, thank you very much to everyone that was watching and viewing and taking part. If anyone wishes to join Front Row Racing, find us on Facebook, send us a message, and we'll explain to you through there how everything is done, and yeah, basically we'll send you a message explaining. So thank you very much to my commentary team of Front Row Racing RI, also known as Rachel Brooks, and James James Hulkenberg, also known as James Huntenberger. I tell you what, it's going to be so much easier next season when we change your name, James. I tell you.
Yeah, it's going to be James Shunt, and what is yours going to be?
Murray Talker.
Murray Talker.
So there we go. There's a bit of news flash. No, we'll keep you as Rachel Brooks. We like you. Right, well, I am going to end the live stream, so thank you very much to everyone that took part, and don't forget to like and subscribe and come find us on Facebook. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you and goodbye.